Elliott Street Square, looking west. Eliakim Morrill Tavern. Eliakim Morrill purchased land from the heirs of Jonathan Carver in 1782 and built this tavern. Mr. Morrill continued as the proprietor of the tavern for 17 years. Gowan Bailey purchased the property in 1849. The old tavern was destroyed by fire on March 2, 1872. Mr. Bailey erected a new building and called it Bailey's Hotel. Old Natick Inn. Bailey's Hotel became very popular and was widely known and visited by people from all parts of the country. It was sold in 1908 to a syndicate with Mrs. Shaw being the largest stockholder. The name of the hotel was changed to the Old Natick Inn. Old Natick Inn and Annex. This lovely picture of the Old Natick Inn was taken from a postcard mailed in 1915 by a pupil from the Pine Manor School in Wellesley to a friend in Wisconsin, where the pupil writes, "This is a picture of the dear old inn where we often go for tea when we are on a buggy ride. It is one of the landmarks of this part of the country." Dam on the Charles. Another beauty spot on the Charles River, situated in South Natick. The old mill on the Charles. The first Bacon-free library. Oliver Bacon built this small masonry building in memory of his wife on the grounds of the present library. Oliver Bacon died in 1878, leaving a will by which, after several small bequests were paid, the residue of his estate he left in trust for a building to be known as the Bacon Free Library, not to exceed $1,500 in cost and to be fireproof. The building was completed in 1880 and became the home of the Natural History and Library Society of South Natick. Elliott Church and site of first school. The engine house, which is to the rear of Elliott Church, is the site of the first schoolhouse in Natick. The school was a substantial building with a massive frame. This building served its purpose for a great many years. On becoming unfit for use, it was torn down. The frame was used to build Burke's blacksmith shop in South Natick. Burke's blacksmith shop. When the first schoolhouse was torn down, many timbers from that building were used to build Burke's blacksmith shop in South Natick. Morse's Mill. Main Street, 1857. This is the oldest picture of Main Street, Natick, known to be in existence. Taken in 1857, showing the first depot and the railroad, together with the freight house, where freight cars were placed by the use of horses, the first post office in the center, and the old flagstaff. Main Street, 1860. This view of Main Street, taken about 1860, shows the town as it appeared at the breaking out of the Civil War. You can also see the trees on the common that were just planted. All the buildings shown in this picture were destroyed in the Great Fire of 1874, with the exception of the Walcott block on the left. Edward Walcott Building. This building, situated between Pond and West Central Streets, was built from 1851 to 1852 by Edward Walcott. The roof burned off on December 1, 1882. It was a shoe factory for many years, and it also contained a hall and became the first home of the Natick High School. Main Street, 1860. All the buildings on both sides of Main Street had become large, substantial dwellings or good business blocks at this time. The block built by Clark and Winch, along with the one owned by Mr. John Walcott on the corner of two prominent streets, added greatly to the appearance of the square. The common had been formally laid out, new trees recently planted, and the entire area fenced in by a one-rail fence. The Nathaniel Clark property. This property contains the Clark and Winch store building, together with the block completed in October 1873. It was destroyed in the fire of January 13, 1874. It was a very pretty building, erected at a cost of about $100,000. East side of Main Street. The central block, shown occupying the extreme north and of the east side, contained, besides the stores on the first floor and offices on the second floor, a hall of considerable size on the third. Still farther south, we have the old engine house known as the Victor House. The entire east side was destroyed in the January 1874 fire. Main Street, east side. The Congregational Church, Woodbury Building, and Engine House, as they existed in 1870, all were prominent landmarks on that date. Walcott Block, Summer Street. The Walcott Building, situated on the corner of Summer and Main Streets, was built by John B. Walcott and was destroyed by fire in January 1874. Looking south after the 1874 fire. Standing on Walnut Street in front of the Harwood baseball shop, looking up Main Street, shortly after the Great Fire of 1874, this is what you would have seen, nothing but ruin. Main Street, 1874, after the fire, looking north. As it appeared in February 1874, about 1 month after the fire of January 13, 1874,